Hey, my name is Eric. I'm making a game. It's called The Godkiller. It's a 3D top-down puzzle solving adventure game. I've been at it for about a year and a half. You could say that I'm 27% done. And I've been fairly organized about coming up with that number. I'll show the status screen once more. On the left side, there's the engine. That's about 75% done. In the middle, there's content, like all the levels and the stuff that's specific to particular levels. Voiceover recordings, songs, some of that's done. Actually, a lot of it's done, the songs. Face art, a little bit of that's done. So overall content's at 5%. Concentrating on the engine because it means that I have something more stable and predictable, and there's less risk. Whereas if I just plunge ahead into creating content and I haven't made the engine complete and robust, then there's more opportunities to sort of waste time and redo things, and you fool yourself into thinking you're further along than you actually are. Content is fairly straightforward. Engine, little things hide there, and you can think you're done, but you're actually done. So engine first, then we'll get into more content, and then at some point I'll figure out my business model, and that may involve partnering with a publisher, or I may just self-publish. I've self-published before. It works fine. If I'm not going to get much kick out of joining forces with somebody that supplies money and distribution and all that, then I won't do it. I'll just self-publish. Anyways, that's far off. Let me do a demo, a recent progress made, and then I'm going to get to work. Because I got nothing to give the world if it isn't complete. Alright. So, I made this thing called a Bystander, and the Bystander is what you might call in other games the NPC. Use it to communicate story points, be involved in dramatic moments where some part of the story needs to move along and it needs characters, and or just give like an area a populated look, like this is where people live, this is where people work, stuff like that. So NPCs, and they're very low poly because you see them from far away almost all the time. Occasionally you might see them a little bit closer, like maybe something like this. But rarely would you see them up close like this, and it's almost a shame because there are some details there that are nice. All these extra edges you see around the models, those are my shader. The shader's applying lines to everything. It would kind of make some sense for it to not apply all the lines to the characters, but they're gonna be far away, and those line settings, they're correct for the rest of the world. I don't want to mess with them. Yeah, it'd be fairly tricky to have a different set of lines applied to these characters down here than elsewhere. And if I eased off the lines to get it to not show these lines on her shoulder, then that would also mean, I don't get these nice little lines popping up here on the ice. So I think I'm going to stick with that. Anyways, let me hit the play button. You can see what they're like in game. Oh shit, this whole time I was explaining what I was doing, I did not have my broadcast going out, so you were seeing a stale shot. So let me go through this again real quick. Alright, so I will show the same thing I was just talking about. It's being a little bit weird because I just changed my resolution. Yeah, when I change my resolution, it doesn't automatically update. If I like that, it's gonna correct it. Nope, I guess not. Alright, I just hit play, it'll fix it. Alright, bystanders, let's see them. Alright. So this is the view I was talking about, where you can see them a little bit closer, because the main character here, this lady with the red hair, she's a little bit lower, and there's a platform that's raised up closer to the camera, so you can see a little more detail. But that's about the amount of, that's an atypical amount of detail, I would say. These guys are going to harass me. Alright, so they're just all staying around. I think I just recently decided to ease off the normal mapping on the textures a little more. So the floor is flat again. Yeah, I might just take that out entirely, to be honest. Anyways, so the other behavior of them is that when you push them, they run away. I'll get a bunch of them running. Now these guys on their hand, they're chasing after me and annoying me. So I'll just run away from them. So their algorithm is such that they're going to run off to a corner and tend to just stand there facing a wall. But to make the level a little more interesting, I add some spikes in the corner so that when they run to a corner, they die, and then they just end up like going back to the egg and rebirthing themselves there. And once they're all running, they just keep running to the corners, and I've got more spikes in the corners. There's a spike in this corner. It's hard to see. It's very dark. In fact, I'll just use it to kill myself. Okay. So once they're all running, then they kind of make this nice never-ending stream of being reborn from the egg. And I realized after I set this all up, one thing that was missing from them that I wanted to have, which was, I'd like for them to sort of go about their business, whatever their business is. Maybe have some kind of patrol. Not that they're actually guarding anything, but you know, like maybe for one of them, it's defined that he'd hang out over here in the corner for a little bit, and then he'd just walk someplace else. He'd walk over here. So I'm thinking about that. But it's definitely more enjoyable to see them kind of popping up and randomly going to different places. Well, not randomly. They're just trying to get away from me. But yeah. I'm high up here, and like all the sound effects way down below are muted because it's far away. So that fleeing behavior is actually not bad for making puzzles with, because you can devise puzzles where the whole thing is that you want to see if you can herd the fleeing bystander into some location. But I also want to be able to have some other behavior besides that. That's a little more natural seeming. So that's the demo, and I'm going to start working, but just in time for the last root beer chug. It's empty now. So I'm going to start working, but I'm going to use the first part of this session to just think about what are the features of the bystander that I want to invest in to say they are 100% complete. Because I don't want to just keep adding to them and say, wouldn't it be nice if they also did this, and what about this other thing? And that's how you end up wasting a lot of time. That sort of no end defined tweak behavior, and like, I mean, you gotta have a little bit of room for stuff like that, but if it's all that, you'll never finish. You'll never finish. So I'm gonna spend some time beginning of this session just thinking about what I want the bystander to have, and then towards the end I'll just pick some small task related to the bystander and complete that. So it won't be a lot of coding. It'll be a fair amount of design and thinking, with a little bit of coding at the end. That's how I predict it will go. Let's see. I'm going to leave the game screen up, because it just helps me think, to see the bystanders, the target of my design already there. Okay. Things, bystanders. Yes, we'll say high level goals. Alright, for the bystanders. Bystanders. What are we talking about? We're talking about bystanders. Okay, high level goals. Look like they're about their business. Like they've got their own goals. They've got their own things that they are important to them. Maybe they're not obvious to you, but they're just like walking around, going to specific destinations. Okay. On another level, I need them to be able to complete block pushing work. It's for story reasons. I actually need them to do work of pushing blocks. Don't look too uniform. That's enough for goals for now. If I think of more, I'll put more. Okay, ideas. Assigned routes. That's one way to handle it. Another way would be nodes. Let's see. Graphs that represent places bystanders may want to go traverse randomly. That might be a little more realistic than the first one. Dispositions. Standing, talking, fleeing, working, guarding, you know, just like a number of activities that define how they're going to act. Each one could have its own separate sort of AI to it that picks places and for them to go and stuff like that. Oh, dancing was one that was interesting to me, particularly because I have the tempo and the beat event, so I can make them just kind of in place, just kind of go woo, woo. That could be fun. I don't want to go too crazy on this. Okay. Rely on level controller for setting dispositions, for lack of a better term. So thinking about assigned routes. So the good thing about assigned routes is you can make puzzles out of them. You can control things very precisely where they're going to go and at what times. The bad thing is you have to do a lot of specification to make them seem like they're doing things that aren't robotic. Like you have to say, like, you know, for this guy, or was that a girl? I don't know. For this person, like, I'm gonna offend them. Unplay. You're gonna walk here, and then you're gonna turn left, and you're gonna go this way, and if you've got a whole city of them, then I don't know. It just won't. It's just a lot of work. And if you happen to, as the player, decide, I'm gonna pick one of those guys and just follow them around, see what they do. Eventually, their route would loop around and repeat itself. So the lack of randomness makes them a little bit trickier to seem like natural city goers. What I think it might make more sense is I create the noded network. I could do it with these things I have called waypoints. Yeah, I could lay down a whole bunch of waypoints all over the level. And I could even say, for one bystander, here are the waypoints you care about. And then the algorithm could be something like, if you're at one waypoint for too long, you start wanting to go to a different waypoint. And then you look at all the waypoints and you pick one and you walk to it. Alright, so here's a waypoint. So I could say, okay, let's make a whole bunch of waypoints. Alright, then I gotta figure out like pathfinding though. Unless I just design the waypoints so that they're always easy to get to from one to another. But in this case, if like if a bystander was at this waypoint and it randomly selected this waypoint over here and it just beelined for it, he'd just hit a wall. Literally, he'd hit a wall and he wouldn't be able to traverse it. So you would actually need to go up north to this waypoint. Maybe you have to move it like off over here and then back down over to this waypoint. But I could pre-calc all the connections between the waypoints that are possible. So I could do like some analysis, maybe even something that's saved in a pre-processing data file. It says if you're at waypoint A and you want to go to another waypoint, you can go first to waypoint B, and that might get anyways, okay. Yeah, I could use some kind of pre-processing to make it clear how to traverse the waypoints so you don't have to run into obstacles. I don't want to over-design for this lively city case too, because Time maps. Yeah, so I don't want to over-design for this lively city case because it's only going to be in a few places in the game. So I should pick something easy. So for time maps, it's generally not my style to put a constraint on the amount of time you have to finish something or the number of moves. But what I would be inclined to do is to create optional challenges or maybe leaderboards or get it under par type of things. So like you could still, if it's your play style to wastefully do lots of moves and that gets you through the level, cool. But some kind of incentive to complete it in a short amount of time as a bonus, unlocking a badge, things like that. That I'd be into. And I've had some experience with this. Yeah, exactly. So let's see, we got on the last game, Drod. There are all these player holds. A hold is a level collection in Drod terminology. And here you see people competing to do it faster or to do it in less moves on individual levels, and inside of a level there's a room, and then so each room has got like this sort of challenge built into it, and people do get into that. A lot of people do. So it's not like something I want to require to make it through the game, but having it be an optional challenge, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, there's all kinds of leaderboards on this, and it has definitely helped with the community. I don't know if I want to make all this infrastructure again for this game. Like I might tap into like what Steam has got. Steam leaderboards. Yeah. Oh, well, this looks familiar. Yes. Okay. Is your recent work, is it the same as what's on this code pen? Cool. Sure, I'll take a look at it. I'm interested. the simplest thing I could do. Alright, let's take a look. Convo Galat. That's your product name, huh? Convo Galat. Oh, cool. You can save words. And you got this nifty border around it. Cool. Well, you got some ASPs in there. What? Oh, okay. That's not ready yet. Okay. Let's take a look. HTML. Clicked word. I like that you can have like Unicode IDs here too. That's kind of nice. Huh. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with this display grid thing. I'm going to check that out. Huh, wow. Yeah, grid seems like a newer thing that I just don't know about. I knew about Flexbox. I knew about friggin' tables. The ancient way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, I thought Flexbox was pretty good. It was definitely a step up from the other messing around with divs, or worse than that as tables. But yeah, maybe grid's like the best way to do it now. Yeah, good stuff. You getting excited about like adding to it and like hooking it up to your Firebase? So seems like, yeah. I like that when I look at your code, I don't see a lot of like extra stuff. You know, I don't see a lot of like, it's not cluttered. You know, you've just got what's needed to make it work. It's a good way to go. Let's see. Let's see. More varied idle animations. Okay. So I could still use waypoints. My level controller, I'll say which waypoint to move to. That stuff I was talking about coming up with like a graph. It's too complex for the amount of value I would get from it. Assigned routes, nah. Roads, paths, nah. Dispositions. Nah. I mean, I've already got something that's kind of like a mode that I can extend, but I don't want to like think of a bunch of stuff to make and I don't actually need it. I'd rather create some basic stuff that seems okay, and then I can extend it as I need it. Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm probably about ready to do it again. Okay, pushing blocks. I do want to figure out my algorithm for that, because that'll inform what I do up here. So that's maybe the hardest thing I have to do. So I could say, what's the command? Say it's push block command keep it simple, I could say CRH and direction. CRH is column row height. For that, it seems like I do want like a little bit of pathfinding. I can keep it at the individual bystander level, not like a general purpose node map type thing for everyone to use. I think I already have something like this. Yeah, wait, move to. Okay, I think I got the gist here. Okay. So things I want to have. Okay, it's time to move this over into my backlog doc. Okay, let me put some session size tasks here. Finish, finalize button. It removes unused unused geos. Okay. He's got a couple of hands. He's the antagonist for the main character. And when she's born into this world, there's this creature who goes by God, and they don't get along, the two of them. Okay, and pathfinding to the create pathfinding util class, add pathfinding to the move to command. Push block, react command, takes CRH and direction. Okay, I should do that. Kinda, although not directly. So you could say that the God of this world made everything in it, but he also made things that made other things. So, you know, he would have made some other creatures that would have created at least some of the puzzles. Let's see, what else was there? Alright, I think I got all those goals represented. It's not bad. You know, I love Portal, but I just don't want to do exactly the same thing. And I think I love Portal so much that it makes me like stop myself from repeating it. So God is a much more detached character in this game story than Gladys was. Gladys was kind of peeking in on you, saying, "Oh, I set up this room for you to do this test," and God in this game, it doesn't. He tends to get other people to to push you besides himself. And there's a secret that related to that. I shouldn't talk about it. I shouldn't talk about it. That would give away a big thing. What is it? Was it? Yeah, because then, like, it, not just for you, but like maybe somebody else like happens upon the video on YouTube or something, and then they know the secret. So I gotta be a little bit careful. I think this is a pretty good description of everything I need to do. I'll probably think of one or two things as I go through and write this. Yeah, it's like I hope you're not freaked out by that, but like all of these streams, I put them on YouTube. I mean they post on Twitch like any other video does, but the ones on Twitch, after a certain amount of time, they are expired and they get deleted. The ones on YouTube, they stay on there forever, or at least until YouTube does something that takes them down, or that I don't know about in the future. It does make me wonder sometimes with YouTube, are they ever going to get to a point where they say, we can't store all your videos, it's too expensive? No, it's cool. No, and nobody cares that much. Okay, I act like this is a huge broadcast and everyone is watching. It's not. It's some tiny little thing that's like. It's more like I'm working on it, and a few regulars come by, a few strangers come by. And it's kind of nice. It gives me a little bit of a hubbub, and a hubbub. I mean, like the kind of feel you get when you're in an office and there's different people that come by, that sort of thing. Alright, so for this session I'm going to take one of these things and do it. I think it will be I think I'll do this finalize button. Finalize. Yeah, I think that's what I should do. That would finish up something. It's also occurring to me that most of this stuff should just be edit-only code. Almost all of it. There's just one thing that should not be. I'll put that at the top. Don't you know that old song? Mamas, don't let your boys grow up to be game developers. So you might have missed my long rant about how it sucks to be a game developer. At least in a industry setting, but very rewarding personally. Like, I enjoy it a lot. The problem is a lot of people want to do it, so career-wise I wouldn't advise it unless you just love the idea of working for like a professional game studio for doing somebody else's game, not yours. You know, if you want to work on the next Halo or the next Fortnite, if that is kind of your dream, then yeah, sure, I wouldn't discourage someone if that's really what they wanted to do. But what a lot of people find out, what I found out, is that you get paid about 50% less with the same skills that you would have at one point in the game industry. You take them outside the game industry, you get paid more. Just seems to be how it is across the board. And then, you know, people give examples of this person or that person is making a lot of money, and that's not really, it's just anecdotal. Statistically, you'll find you make less money. So yeah, do it for fun. Yeah, or do it kind of like in the indie style, where like you're choosing the thing that you want to make. That's what works for me. I'm not cut out to go work for Epic or EA or Ubisoft. I'm just not. I could maybe work for Unity on tools, but I don't want to work for a game company. I've done it before. Yeah, I find 3D modeling lots of fun. Pretty calm too. Alright, so let's see. Finalize. One way I could do this, I think, to say delete every game object whose renderer is not on. In fact, that sounds good enough to generalize. And that almost sounds like something I already did, so I'm just double checking to see if I already did that. Nope, not yet. Destroy hidden game object children. This. All right. Well, this might be a little trickier than I thought. Because the problem is, if I destroy a higher level game object in the hierarchy, then it will have destroyed everything underneath of it. So therefore, I gotta do something more intelligent than just deleting. So I could be saying if renderer, if it's not enabled, if it's hidden, then destroy game object, renderer game object. And it seems like it worked, but at some point one of these is going to be like a invalid object. So what's the algorithm I need? Huh. Okay. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, it is a classic. You have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it, though. It's from a different time. Like, even if you just watch a movie from the 90s, you'll notice it's a lot slower paced. Okay, so just the baseline pace of movies has gotten faster and faster. Now, 2001, when it came out, even when it came out, people would go in and they would leave the movie theater because it seemed like there was these long stretches where nothing was happening. So you got to be kind of in a contemplative mood. But it's a glorious, beautiful movie. And I'd say even like if you could watch it without double screening, if you could manage to do it. When I say double screening, I mean like you're getting kind of bored, so you're like clicking around your phone or tablet. That'll mess it up. You won't really know it. You'll have gone through the whole thing and be completely sort of unengaged with it. It's cool. It's cool. You just got to be a real patient viewer. And there's no huge payoff at the end. Like there's some really good special effects for the time at the end, and there's a few kind of mysteries that get revealed at the end, but it doesn't like suddenly all make perfect sense at the end or anything like that. It's very contemplative. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna refill my root beer. Anyways, if you do watch it, tell me what you think. And if you don't like it, no big deal. Alright, so the algorithm has got to be something like... I think for each... So I could say, destroy the game object. No, not yet. Could say, I gotta figure out one thing. Does this go down more than one level? Get components in children. I think I assumed it did previously, and maybe I was right. Yeah. Yep, okay. Okay, so we'll recursively go down. So let's see, I could check here. Before adding to see if any parents are there, but I don't know because the parents might not have been added yet. So first I got a list of everything. Okay, so here's what I could do. I could say for every delete go, check its parent. Is its parent also in the list of game objects to delete? If so, skip it. And also recursively look up parent of parent of parent of parent until I get to the root. Okay, so we'll say go parent transform. I feel like I might as well use transforms. Let's call it delete transforms. I don't need that. Let's just go. I don't know. Okay, let's see how well this works. Alright, take one of these guys. Let's move them off the side here. Bystander 15. You get to undergo an experiment. You may come out of this feeling improved, lighter. Many patients have said, don't let me kid you, you're the first patient. But we expect that many patients will end up enjoying this, and let's see how it goes. First, we're gonna unpack you. Alright. So what happens when we finalize you? Thirty-one renderers. Can I tell what they go to yet? I can. Looks pretty good. There's probably a few empty game objects that aren't going to show up here. That's okay, I'm not too worried about empty game objects. This looks like a pretty complete list. It's got the male and female hair. It's got male and female legs and top. So it looks right. Alright, quite a few to go through there. Let's skip ahead. Alright, so how many do we got? 24 out of 31. That's a lot to delete. I like it. So what are we deleting? A little bit of everything. Nice. Which one's this? It's I. Just gonna delete I? Is that right? It's got 2 children and I is gonna get deleted. So the renderer. Okay. Alright, look at these. Let me look at these again. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I'm being dumb. Okay, this is the parent transform is I. The delete transform is IB. Okay. So this one, it should take a look and find that nothing else is marked for deletion. This isn't good enough. It's probably going to work, but only because of the nature of this particular hierarchy. It's just not that. It's not giving me all the cases that would cause trouble. And I did aim to make this a general purpose function. Still, I'm going to keep looking through it as I go, but let me just make a quick note over here what the issue is. So yeah, I think I want to do something like, before I delete the object, I don't need to skip it if it's contained by a parent. That's actually the benign safe thing that I can do. It doesn't hurt anything. But I do need to cover the case where if I delete the parent and there's still children left in the list, go through that list, remove the children from it, so that they're not referenced later after the parents delete it, which also deletes the children. So it's kind of like I need to do the opposite of what I put here. Instead of searching up at the ancestors, you want to search down for the descendants. Alright, I'm just gonna step out. Looks like it worked. Let's see what the end result is. No exceptions, at least. She looks exactly the same, which is good. It means all the stuff I deleted didn't affect her look. Alright, and if I just eyeball this, I can see IA is there, inside female, there's stuff there, but no more than is needed. Okay, rig, pelvis, all that's good. Trail emitter still in place. This one I can write some special case code to delete. It's just an empty game object. It wouldn't be the end of the world to just leave it in. Okay, that's a successful operation. Let me fix up a few more things. The other thing I want to do is let's see, to do check for whether geo has been finalized or not. Okay. So this will stop this logic from being used if I've already finalized the bystander. These functions rely on certain hierarchies of game objects being there. So there's no point in calling these functions after it's been finalized. That's a prefab utility unpack prefab instance. It's going to be completely. Yeah, I like doing this one because it'll show prompts telling me you want to do this crazy thing. Are you sure? It might remind me that I don't want to. Okay, so there's that. Now I gotta go back to the game object util and redo this algorithm, which was not correct. Does that work? Can I call it off of the transform? I guess I can. I get confused about why they ever split it in between transform and game object. It seems like they could have just had both of them in one object, but okay. This is the irritating thing. So if I want to remove these from my delete list, it's going to change the membership of the delete list. deletable transforms. Haven't decided I'm going to delete them yet. And this will be the actual things that get deleted. Actually, let's make these not so similar. That's a better name anyways. I don't need them. Unneeded transforms. I haven't decided what I'll do with them yet, but I know I don't need them. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to say for each unneeded transform, basically putting back in the first logic I had. No, parent transform. Okay. Let me see. Let me make this, okay, so if not skip, then we say delete transforms, add the friggin' unneeded transform. Okay. Now, I should, at this point, have a list of just what should be deleted. And I say the second pass, third pass stuff. Delete what should be deleted. Let's do This, I think, is much better. Do these need to be transforms? Is that actually helpful? It is. It is. Okay. Default value is false. Okay. Oh, I almost. Oh, God, I'm glad I caught this. That would have been an infinite loop, and that sucks. That's force quit if I don't fix that. This again. All right, your operation was successful. Let me try another patient. Whoa, what's that about? Okay. Bystander 17, are you ready? We'll take from you all the things which are not necessary and give you nothing. That apparently worked. This time it got rid of the female. I suppose there's a few other things that could be deleted. Empty game objects. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm getting close to finishing here. Let me see. Randomize. It shouldn't do anything. Good. Finalize. Should not do anything. Good. I do like the design on these guys. Let's take another one. Finalize. Unpacks. Gets rid of the male part. IB, female. Bam. 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 Alright. Last thing to check. Actually, let me just grab all of them. Let me finalize all of them. Look at that. Just all done. All done. I like it. Alright, last thing to check is I'll hit the play button and I'll see if they still are functioning correctly. And if they are, I'm going to call it a session. Yeah, she's running. Just shoving a box back and forth at each other. Whoa, something happened there. Nah, I'm not done. I'm not done. Why am I able to walk through these guys? Something went haywire. What did I mess up? It seems like the game logic is there. Yeah, so they've been added to the logical game state. That's why I can hear the sound effects when I punch at them, and then I can see their interactions with other objects. But it's not updating the position of the game object or animating it. So I messed up something. What could I have messed up? So what was the first one that was wrong? Was it this one? I got a discovery script. Oh, this is one of the healthy ones. So let me compare to one of the ones that's not healthy. Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. So I've got something called scene organization, and what it does is it moves some things to where it thinks they need to go in the hierarchy. It kind of tidies up for me. And one of the rules that it uses is that if something is a prefab, then don't mess with any of the parts underneath of it. But on the other hand, if something is a prefab, it is not a prefab, then it's no longer protected from being reorganized in the hierarchy. So it took some of the game objects that were part of like the feet and hands and everything, and it separated them out. So I've got like a ton of all this kind of junk in here. It seems like it's all in place, but man, it's a lot of stuff. Alright, let me just delete. I know how to fix this. I think the remaining ones are the ones that are healthy. Let me take a look inside of prefabs, creatures, bystander. Yeah. Okay. So this I just want to set to don't organize. All these, say, don't organize, just leave them alone. Don't organize. You think you know what should happen with those, but you don't know. You don't know. Leave them be. There's quite a few in here to do. Okay. Gotta get them all. These two. Man, can I just select a ton of them all at once? That's what I'd like to do. Does that work? Oh, I think it does. I think it does. It does. Okay, cool. So just expand, 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 expand. Shit. spot check here. Yeah, looks like that works. Alright, moving on to the calf. I didn't do all these. Dang it. Alright, this I did. So I got the clavicles. Got the neck. Now let's do the thighs. Oh, these aren't as bad. Good. Let's see if I can get It's kind of an unintended side effect, but whenever I duplicate one of these, it automatically randomizes. I don't get that, but that is actually the behavior I want. I just didn't program it. It's a little weird that it worked that way. Okay, let's finalize number 22. Okay, she is unpacked. And what do her parts look like? Are they don't organize? Get rid of all these, they're garbage now. Okay, let's... Yeah, okay. Let's see if we're in better shape. Oh, I should get rid of this console log. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Alright, let's see how it does. This could be the end right here. I hope it works. I hope there's no more bugs. Cool. That's looking good. I think I got it. Not seeing any bugs now. The feature's completed. So I'm going to call this a stream. There's more work to do on the bystanders. But I've got it all chunked up into nice little tasks. I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew. So yeah. I think this is a good stopping point. Z, if you can still hear me, thanks for joining. I'll catch you later. Stopping the stream, stopping the stream, stopping it now.